that is broken down and without walls.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Now let's read on. 16th verse again.
Proverbs 25:16. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomited.
And that's plain and to the point. You gotta take this thing piecemeal. You know, you gotta take this thing by increments. All right. In other words, you gotta slowly digest it. When you eat food, you can't eat a meal and then get up and go to the bathroom and push that meal out. Your food has to be digested first, and that could take a number of hours. And then you go to the bathroom. When you go to the bathroom, all right, whether you know it or not, what you're pushing out in the toilet is something that you ate maybe 5-6 hours ago. So it's the same thing with this truth. When you take this truth, you have to digest it. So it takes time to digest. Okay, now let's go from there to the book of Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter. We're going to read the whole chapter because it's only 10 verses long. Then we're going to immediately go to the 3rd chapter, and we're going to read from the 1st verse to the 11th verse. All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 1. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet. That I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me.
Now, why would this be in the scriptures? Why would the book of Ezekiel be in the scriptures if the Most High came to Ezekiel and told him to go to the children of Israel? Why would we be reading it now if the Most High came for everybody? He came for the Gentiles. He came for the whole world, no matter what race you are. The reason why this is in the scriptures, because this scripture right here, Ezekiel, applies to us today. Take this word and to go and teach the Israelites. Go ahead.
To a rebellious nation.
Right, to a rebellious nation. And I have on one of the on my pictures on my my web, I had taken copied and pasted a picture of the GMS Tube site, maybe about 2 or 3 months in, and we had close to 1,500 members. And I have the pictures just in case anybody says that's not true. I can show that picture, so you might see it based on what the producer decides to do with it. All right, because I don't produce these shows. And it's going to show you. I believe it was 1,400 and some. I think it was 1,423 members, if I'm not mistaken. Now, when we set that site up, it was after YouTube cut us off. We would put up a site with GMS in it, and we wouldn't even put up a video, and the thing would just be cut down. All right, it was an all-out assault. So we said we're gonna set up our own. Website, and basically that website that we set up, which is our own. You have free space. So we said, okay, well, it's free, it's ours. That's beautiful. But we had so many people come on that site or join on that site that the site kept crashing. So when we called the people asking, like, why does it keep crashing? Because you got too many people on here, and the amount of videos that you put on there, that's taking up too much space or too much memory. So they said, you either got to cut them people down or we're going to have to charge you. So we said, okay, just charge us. Now, I believe that first month, it was sky high because of all those people. So we had no choice but to say, look, the only way you can go on this site is you're going to have to pay your tights or pay us something. So Jake, the 90% of them got an attitude. So we had to cut them off because they didn't pay any damn thing. So basically, 10% of those people send monies to us, whether it be in the form of tights or donations or whatever, and whatever's lacking, we got to put in ourselves. All right. Now it's at the number of people that we have on that site and the number of videos that we put up there. We still got to pay them, but it's now we can control it. In other words, now it's manageable. All right. But Jake wants something for nothing. They want all the dark, deep secrets, you know, but they don't want to give nothing for it. That means that this is not coming from their heart. All right. Go ahead, read that again.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation.
Right, to a rebellious nation. Because you want this truth, but you want to be able to kick up your feet and not expect it to be hard to you. You want to give it to you on a silver platter, and while you're eating it, somebody gonna come behind you and rub your back. It don't work that way, man. But we found out how Jake is, but we knew how Jake was back 20 years ago. So it's the same thing, the new cycle. All right?
You know, the precept here for nation, the precept here for nation says nations. It's plural. So it says, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me, they and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day.
When he said even unto this very day, even unto the very day that Ezekiel received this prophecy, but that applies to us now because they're rebellious even unto this very day. Go ahead.
It says, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them.
Yeah, so we out there, so you got guys saying, you guys ain't right, you shouldn't be on here no more. You know, their whole thing is, we prove you that you were wrong, so stop putting up you know, it's like, them spies are trying to stop, you ain't gonna stop this thing, man. Read that verse again.
It says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Whether Israel listen or not, go ahead.
For they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them.
But you're going to know that the prophets of the Most High was before you, right? So you can't make no excuses. Well, Lord, I didn't know. If somebody would have came to me, if you would have spoken to me, the Lord is speaking to you through us. Like I said, we'll be down there on even the brothers from Texas, the two brothers from Texas witnessed that same thing. That there was no crowds listening to us. But I'll tell you this much. If there's a major terrorist attack, I bet you they'll be down there in Groves. Then when we were speaking, there was a couple, two Jakes, a male and a female with a kid, and all three of them had, even the kid in the stroller, the baby in the stroller, they had devil's horns. You know how them devil horns that were lit up too, red devil horns. But that's our people in a nutshell. A bunch of damn devils. Out of all the costumes you can, first of all, Halloween is demonic any damn way. But there's so many costumes you can choose from. You had to be the damn devil. What the hell is wrong with you people? Go ahead.
It says, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words.
Yeah, we had niggas come down talking about they're going to spray us. They're going to run us over. One cracker came up, I got an 18-wheeler. I'm going to come back and I'm going to run over all of y'all. And none of them never came back. Go ahead.
Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions.
The Most High called you niggas a bunch of damn scorpions. I'm talking about all you tribes. Go ahead.
It says, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.
And then another thing, you got these fake-ass Israelites, these bootleg Israelites that want to just get along with everybody. That's why you have them women. Anytime you got a lot of women following you, not knocking all the sisters, because there's some sisters that are righteous out there, that are trying to do the right thing. There's some of them out there, man. But you got some of these sisters, they'll follow a nigga like Bubble Eye Blackfish, right? There's one sister, she's saying, yeah, these brothers, this brother, he's a righteous brother. He baptized me. He's not like them other Israelites. You know, he's compassionate. He's this, he's that. Let me say this. You don't want a brother like that. The Most High ain't dealing with brothers like that. He's dealing with brothers that are straightforward and hard, man. But they're also humble. Once they get to know you, they're humble too. Go ahead.
It says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they
not your word. Not Esau can make it. The other nations can make it. There's a place called hell that you're gonna burn in hell, and there's a cold part of hell. The scripture doesn't say there's a small group of Edomites that's going to deny their father. That's not in the scriptures. So you want to follow Bubble-Eyed Blackfish, you go right ahead and follow that fool. The blind leading the blind. Go ahead.
Whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me.
Right. It says, open thy mouth and eat what the Lord give you. Not say, well, I don't like that part. I'm not going to eat the spinach. You know, I'll eat the cornbread and I'll eat the chicken and I'll eat the rice, but I ain't eating the spinach. I am not going to eat the spinach. You got to eat the whole plate. Go ahead.
And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mournings and woe.
What was written in this book? Lamentation and mournings and woe. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
There it is again. If you didn't get it based upon the second chapter, he came back and told you in the third chapter. Eat this book and go and speak to the house of Israel. Go ahead.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Oh, yesterday I got into it with a so-called Jew that works on my job named Joe. I mean, he's cool. Ricard knows him because Ricard comes to the job, and Tazaiwan, because me and Tazaiwan work together, right? And this guy came in, and we were just talking about slavery, how and we speak freely, man. We use the word cracker, we use the word devil, you know, and the so-called supervisor, he's Uncle Tom nigga named KB. He'll say shh shh shh. You got white people that work over there. They got the next office over there. You got to keep it down. And I said, what did I say? You know what you said. I said, I don't know what I said. Because it comes out freely, man. If the word cracker come out, it just come out, man. So they already know about us, man. Even at the main office, the top heads even know about us, man. You know? But anyway, we were talking about slavery in general. And he said, well, you know, the so-called Jew, Joe, he said, you know, we went into slavery. You wasn't the only people that went into slavery. We went into slavery too. I said, when you go into slavery, man? Back during the time of Egypt. I said, back during the time of Egypt. I said, man, man, you better. I said, I see something. You don't know your history, man. I said, let me ask you a question, man. Then he started getting nervous, right? I said, let me ask you a question. I said, Moses. Then he goes, well, Moses, we don't even know if he actually existed. That was based upon the. I said, you know what, man? That shows you don't know nothing about no history, man. All right. I said, I see you don't know nothing about history. You don't want to deal with my questions, right? So I said, what the hell I said? Then he said, yeah, you know, they say that we converted the white Jews. I said, you're right. I said, give him a hand. I said, you know something. You know, I was wrong. You know a little history, man. I said, do you know what time period you converted? I'm not sure. I think the 10th. No, it was the 8th century, all right? You were called the Cossacks, all right? Then he said, I got to go to the bathroom. And then me and Tazaiwan started laughing, man. He didn't want to go deep in that conversation, all right? All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel 3:2. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee.